Hello everyone, and welcome back again to Let's Play Bayonetta. I'm not going to get the new weapon just yet, but I'm going to show that afterwards. It's because this chapter is going to be pretty short because it's another boss fight. Wait till after the end, I'm going to be showing off some extra stuff, as well as the weapon that we're going to get from that LP we got last chapter. But now, we got a cutscene coming up, so... Like a boss.
Still cool, Bayonetta.
I feel like a fucking celebrity in this town. See that? Everyone rushes at me like crazed fans. They still haven't figured out that I don't give autographs. I'm not much for the talkative types. How about we have a little fun instead? You did plan on having fun with me, right? There'll be plenty of time for pillow talk afterwards.
Alright, right off the bat, the first thing that Temperance can do is this. He will grip the platform that you're on with one of his hands, and he'll start to destroy it with the other one by shooting the guns at it. You have a quick time event that you could jump away from it, but you could still kind of save yourself by turning into a crow. What he's doing here, gripping the platform while preparing a punch, you want to take out that hand gripping the platform quickly. So use, like, Shiraba instead, because that'll have the strongest wicked weaves to fight against him. For, otherwise I am using the lightning Durgas on the hand. Now when he winds up to do that, dodge right before he hits the platform. That's how you avoid damage. It'll send you into a witch time where you have to jump on platforms to get back to a place where you can hit him. One of the platforms you could jump to has a throwable object like that. The damage is insignificant, really, but what it does is put him back into witch time, and you can get some free hits on his hands like that. So, what I just did there, that's the reason why you might want to go to one of the platforms that has a trolley on it that you can throw at him. The reason, you'll notice here that actually, look at his halo, it's red. Oh yeah, there's another thing he can do here. He'll just plain old shoot at you with the rockets from his four-finger-like things. You see here that his halo is red. That means I have the Gaze of Despair equipped. And there is a reason that I'm doing that. It's because a Gaze of Despair onto the Angel really isn't that different from how it is normally. Right here, once you've done enough damage to one of the arms, like one of the fingers, you'll have to do a small event to dodge up onto his hand, onto his arm, and run up, and break this glowing pustule holding it together. After you beat it up enough, you'll have to do a climax thing, and you'll have a quick time event to rip it off. While you're running up there, the little wind spirits will come and try to get you, and the little pustule can send these little blue crystals out to attack you. You can actually destroy them if you hit them enough, but otherwise they're not too difficult to keep dodging out of. The other thing it'll do is send out this blue electric wave. You'll see, like, the lightning go into it before it, like, juts out, and you will have to dodge that. So now, when you've reduced him down to one arm, his attacks change. The first thing he does is he blows his annoying wind spirits at you again. I prefer to keep in the air when I'm attacking him, because it's a bit harder for most of his attacks to hit you there. He does these eye beams, which are also, pretty easy to dodge as well. And similar to how he punches it before, you want to dodge right as he punches the platform. But yeah, I've got the Lightning Dirgers equipped, and I've got the Gaze of Despair on, because when you've got the Gaze of Despair on, actually the Cardinals, like these boss fights, are not that much tougher in all the places. They've got higher defense, they've got higher attacks, and they're a bit faster, but they're really not too different. And the reason why I'm using the Lightning Dirgers is because they are fast and they rack up a combo massively. You can see here within, like, say, a few hits, you can build up your combo to times 9.9 very quickly. And you can see right there the money going in. Like, if you're luckier than I am and he doesn't use this attack where, you know, he punches you away, and which causes you to be away from him long enough that it destroys your combo, you can rack up such a massive combo on him, and you can just rake in the money. If you're lucky, you can get, like, say, over 500,000 halos from this boss fight. This one, from this boss fight, you'll see I get actually 400,000. So you can generally get between 300,000 and maybe 600,000 to 700,000 if you're lucky per boss fight. If you have the Gaze of Despair equipped, and if you're using the Lightning Dirgers to build up such massive combos like this. But those are actually, like, all the attacks that he can do with both arms and with just one arm, so I was glad I was able to show off all of those to you. Like, I think there was a one point where he's holding, he just has one arm left, and he just uses one of his finger to just shoot at you. I mean, yeah, it's just like how he has two arms and uses one of the other arms to fire at you. At this point here, there are 3 more of these little blisters that you have to beat up. See, those are the blue crystals I was talking about. They're not too difficult to avoid out of. But on hard mode, there's actually 5 of them, but here on normal mode, there's only 3. And after you destroy one, you'll be, you know, reset back to a different place. If you know where these blisters are and you travel to them fast enough, you can maintain your combo throughout this entire section. See, right there is a little energy pulse I talked to you about. But yeah, you can get some big points here at this little section. Yeah, and so, yeah, like when you're fighting these things, you can sometimes get lost when you're trying to run around his torso trying to find them. And if you're doing that, yeah, you're obviously gonna, you know, lose your combo. But this is one of those, once you know what to do, grinding for money against this guy is really quick and easy. See, look at all that money that I got once that combo ended. Now, against his head, it's actually the toughest, like, say, most dangerous form. I tried to make sure I could get a pure platinum ranking on him, so I kept playing this part over and over till I got no damage. Those lasers from the head can be dodged out of the way left or right. It can be a bit tricky, but it's okay. Right after he does the head laser, he actually sends out those wind spirits at you. And as you saw a little bit before, he shot out a laser straight at you onto the thing and circled around with this little tentacle cluster coming out of his mouth. That will give you witch time if you dodge it. And those eye beams, my preferred way of deflecting that is this. Just rapidly tapping towards him with the Moon of Mahakala equipped, and you'll just deflect them all right back at him. So you can see that little tentacle cluster coming out of his mouth. He can actually attack you with that normally, similar to the wind spirits. It'll just, you know, jut right out of his mouth. A dangerous thing about this fight is that you're almost always in front of his mouth, so you can't always tell if he opens his mouth, which means you won't tell if he's doing an attack. So you gotta be pretty careful against this boss fight, because yeah, he has a bunch of attacks that can really surprise you. And when you, deflect the attacks with the Moon of Mahakala like that, they all deflect back into him and do damage and build up your multiplier a bit. So it's a good strategy to use against the eye beams, which, yeah, are, like, difficult to dodge out of the way of because there's just so many. Yeah, not looking so good there, man. But yeah, if you follow those tips, this guy could be a great boss to grind for money against.
All done? Well, let me give you back your toy then.
This is one of my favorite cutscenes in the whole entire game.
And I didn't make any time for pillow talk.
Oh, come on, man. You're supposed to be one of the fearless angels. What are you doing? But yeah, I made sure I got a pure platinum for that one.
Mommy, you're the best.
So you see how high my combo ranking is there? Yeah, that's what you can get with the lightning Durgas against on there. And if, like I said, if you're luckier and he doesn't use the attack where he punches you away so far, yeah, you can get even higher combos and thus even more money. So you see there I have over 500,000. Like, I started this video with little over like 100,000. So right here, what I did off screen is I went ahead and I did a little bit of grinding against him. All I had to do was fight him like, say, 4 or 5 times. And you're going to see that with just like 4 or 5 times, I was able to rather easily get... Come on, show it. Oh, duh. This is a different point here. This is something that I had from the recording that I wanted to show off. That this is from one of, like, the fail attempts before I, reset the attack. Like, you're going to see here, he's going to shoot, like, the standard, like, say, head beams at you. Around right here. Somehow I got a perfect counter against it and was able to get witch time off of it. I don't know how, and I wasn't able to do it again, but apparently you can. You can also get that against the eye lasers as well. But I didn't get that on a recording or else I would have shown it off too. But yeah, there I got hit, and that's when, I tried again. And there's one other thing I showed because I didn't show him doing like the standard tentacles from the mouth attack, which is going to show right there. That you got to be careful of because, yeah, if he grabs you in there, you'll have to do a rotate the stick quick time event in order to knock him out. It'll give you some free hits because it'll stun him, but it will do damage to you when you get hit. So yeah, look at there. I was able to get 2 million halos really easily from just fighting him, like, say, 4 or 5 times with that same exact strategy that I showed you in the video before. Gaze of Despair, Lightning Durgas.
Another LP? Working me to the bone. But no need to pity me. I was bored anyways. Let me go whip some things into shape for you.
If you're not interested in too many, like, say, extra stuff about accessories or extra weapons, you can kind of end the video here, but since it was kind of a short thing, I decided to put in some extra stuff about some things I've been talking about, like the other weapons and accessories.
Made me break a sweat. I gotta give it to my tropical friends. They sure are fun to play around with. So much fun, I brought back a special playmate just for you.
I'll talk about the Odette in a little bit, but suffice to say they're probably one of the least useful weapons in the whole game. Right now with 2 million halos, let's do some shopping. At the very bottom here, I go ahead and I purchase all the remaining moon pearls and witch hearts that are in stock at the Gates of Hell. It's not going to max out either one of them, simply because I haven't found all the broken moon pearls and broken witch hearts in the stages yet, but I'm going to buy all the ones that still remain. Grand total for moon pearls are 3 full life bars, and as you can see right here, as I start to buy these new witch hearts, you can fill up to a grand total of 2 life bars. You'll see there's like 2 lines that you could complete. That's as big as your health bar can be. And they're all completely sold out, so everything else has to be found within stages. Now for accessories. I'm going to be showing off what all these do in a little bit. We got Sergei's lever, which actually splits you up into 3 people and lets you essentially attack 3 times in a row. I'll talk about that a little bit more. The Infernal Communicator, which allows you to summon, like, say, some tiny little, like, demons that will attack an enemy, whichever enemy that you are currently attacking as well. It's kind of similar to Surge's Lever. Pulley's Butterfly, which is defensive. It uses magic to summon some butterflies, which can absorb some hits for you, and therefore make sure you don't get hit. Celine's Light, this is for beginner players. If you have magic and you get hit, you will automatically trigger Witch Time, and it'll last as long as you have magic. The Star of Dinetta, which, as long as you're taunting an enemy, you will start to recover your life bar. But only if you are taunting an enemy. It won't work if you're just, taunting and, no one's there. And I go ahead and decided to buy this Eternal Testimony. Like, most of the time at this point, you're not going to have this. I don't know why it unlocked for me. This is what you get when you get 50 Tears of Blood, either in the form of a crow or in the form of achievements. But what this does is, if you have no magic, it will automatically restore 2 magic orbs. So that's what it does when you have that equipped. Something I want to show off in the shop is that there is a try before you buy feature on this. This one move I don't really use all that much. It's a breakdance. I don't like what it does with the camera, and the fact that it's kind of difficult to stagger some of the larger enemies with this, I find. I generally have this disabled. And also, if you hold it down long enough, it'll go into this, photo finish pose. If you let it go for long enough, you may even screw up a combo. But you can dodge out of it, so that is useful. I bought it just to buy it because I have the money. Now, Witch Twist and the Umbran Portal Kick are kind of interesting. You activate them kind of similarly to Tetsunko. When you're in the middle of dodging, holding down the dodge button, you press either the punch or kick button. See, they don't look that interesting now, but actually they summon a Wicked Weave attack whenever you do that, so you summon this Wicked Weave Uppercut. And the other one will summon a Wicked Weave Stomp. The Witch Twist can be useful if you're around a lot of flying enemies, but the Umbran Portal Kick, I think, is only useful in one moment of the game, and that's for a reason that I don't think the developers intended. So, what you do... See, this is what happens. She creates this portal and just dives down. Most of the time, a Wicked Weave Stomp will come down, and unlike the breakdance, you cannot dodge out of that photo finish thing right there. The only useful thing about it is you're invincible while that attack is going. That's the only reason why it's actually, worth buying. You're invincible while you're doing the Umbran Portal Kick. And in the Umbran Treasure series, the only things unlockable right now are these things called Umbran Elegances. I'm not going to discuss them until quite a while. Those are part of costumes, and I'm going to talk about them later at the end of the playthrough when I actually talk about all the extras. And because I had the money, I went ahead and bought the alternate Durgas and the alternate Onyx Roses, just because I could. And so now I'm going to actually show what a lot of these different things do that I haven't been able to show off before. So with all this stuff in hand, I went ahead and went back to the very first chapter, the Angels Metropolis, and we'll take a look at some of the extra things I could do. Like I said, that's what the rest of this video is going to be about, all the stuff that I just got and everything. If you're not interested, you can just end the video now, go to the next one if it's out. See, with the alternate weapons, you can have it equipped to both the hands and the feet at the same time. So right here, both they have fire Durgas attached. And it said that's the bullet climax, where you could switch it between fire and lightning. The lightning attacks are a lot quicker, and the fire attacks are slower but more powerful. And that's what their charge modifiers are. The further along in the combo, when you're using the fire Durgas, you release progressively larger and more powerful skull bombs. They are very powerful, and they can indeed drain an enemy's health really quickly. You see that one right there is really tiny because that's a charge modifier from the first attack of the chain. When you have both of the weapons are lightning Durgas, you can do a lot of really quick strikes. And now I'm going to show you the Odette, and in a little bit I'm going to show you a bit of what the Kulshedra can do as well. I don't know why it took such a long time deciding what to do here, but as I found, actually Kulshedra and Odette are a really bad weapon combination. They do not combo well with each other. The Odette are ice skates, and yes, they do give you slippery ice physics, as like I'm sure you've seen in plenty of other games. However, they do make you go a lot faster. It's about as fast as the Beast Within, maybe a little less fast, but still very quick. It has its own main combo string, and the main point of what you want it to do is to freeze enemies. However, you have to hit enemies quite a bit in order to actually, get them to get frozen. See, I try to get to some combos here, and there, yeah, its Wicked Weaves are really, well, they're frozen, obviously. And after that, right there is the charge modifier for after a Wicked Weave like that. So, she does this, like pirouette spinning attack with it. So this is how fast you can run with the Odette. It is pretty useful if you just want to get around. But within the middle of combat, the slipperiness of the ice physics make it kind of a little too unwieldy. And I'm going to show off in a little bit how it is trying to freeze an enemy. And I personally think it takes a bit too long to try and freeze an enemy, so I think any benefits you can get from it are kind of rendered moot because it's a bit difficult to do. So right now here I have Celine's Light going. See, it triggered Witch Time as soon as I got hit, and it used up the last 2 orbs of my magic. Now that I have no magic left, every time I get hit, well, now Witch Time does not trigger. Celine's Light is now useless without magic. And that's how a lot of these accessories are. Without magic, the accessories cannot be used. So, if you feel confident that you, or at least if you're a beginner and you feel like you can't really, get Witch Time too active and everything, Celine's Light is good for you, but I don't use it because I've been playing the game long enough that I don't need it. And so to recover my health, I equipped Star, what's it called, Dinetta's Light, or Star Dinetta? Yeah, Star of Dinetta. So there I am, just holding down the taunt button, and as you can see, my health keeps recovering. It's very, very slow and gradual. It's kind of like finding one of the little green laurels, and that's how much it recovers each time. It's useful on some occasions, I will say that. Alright, this is what Surge's Lever can do. Surge's Lever is kind of strange. And Surge's Lever, you have one that you have to do by pressing the punch and kick button together. As you can see, it creates these 2 little lightning clones. They will do the exact same things that you do, just a little bit later, like a fraction of a second later. So it essentially means you attack enemies, say 3 times. Depending on the enemy that you're fighting, you could do great things for your combo or terrible things to your combo, because you may not be able to get Wicked Weaves off enough, and it may not be able to build a high enough combo multiplier. So right here, I was just doing some taunting in order to build up my magic, and by pressing punch and kick again, this is like the Pulley's Butterfly. I was gripped onto by a decoration there, something that Pulley's Butterfly doesn't defend against. But here, as you can see, as I'm getting tacked, these butterflies are taking the hits for me, and you can see my magic meter was going down as they were being used. So Pulley's Butterfly can be pretty useful in that instance. Now for the Infernal Communicators. You're going to see here, she summons up these little, demon head things. They're a bit difficult to see because they're kind of dark, but most of the time after you attack an enemy, they will start to swarm around the enemy and attack him as well. So I think you can probably see it right there. They start to swarm and attack the enemies. So those were all the accessories that I had. This is what the Colchedra can do. You don't always have to be in Witch Time in order for that to work, but against, it will always work against small enemies. But there, you could just swing enemies around, just destroy them like that. I told you that the Colchedra was actually pretty useful at this fight because, like I said, it's a weapon that's good in close quarters combat. Because it can do things like this. Its standard combos I don't find to be very useful, but as, using it as a flail for all these enemies around you, oh yeah, it's very nice. Right there is the bullet climax for the Odette. It just does that, that spinning pirouette thing again. And that's just some standard combos that it can do. See, that's an enemy frozen. You saw how long it took for him to get frozen. and you're able to pick it up and throw it like you can do with, like, say, cars and objects that you could find around Vigrid and everything, I don't find freezing enemies to be very useful at all, so that's probably the biggest reason why I don't use Odette. I would probably get used to the slippery ice physics if I thought it was a useful weapon, but I honestly don't think that it is, so Odette just pretty much never gets used by me, or from a lot of different other Bayonetta players from what I see. It's more of a weapon to mess around with than anything else. And that's pretty much, I think, all I have to talk about for the remainder of this video. In a little bit, I think probably gonna quit back to the main screen, sorry. And that'll be the end of the episode. Yep. So, glad that you could join me again. Tune in next time for the next chapter. I'll see you next time.